Alright, what is up, guys? It's K-Rod here. I'm back with another good video for today. So, a Japanese rising contender that is signed with top-ranked promotions, Masayoshi Nakatani, had recently defeated Diamante Verdejo. Sadly, I love you, Felix. I do. But, yeah, Masayoshi Nakatani said in his post-fight interview that he wants to take on Teofimo Lopez again. I am going to make this case of why Teofimo Lopez is afraid of Masayoshi Nakatani. Uh, Here's a pretty good reason why. The night when Teofimo Lopez faced Nakatani for, I guess, like the title Eliminator to face for the IBF belt against Richard Comey, Teofimo was not at the best of his peak when he was fighting him. But when Nakatani was actually boxing Teo, something shook inside my eyes to say that Teofimo cannot deal with guys that have longer pressure and reach than him, or have more pressure and longer reach than him. Even if Teo were to face a taller fighter, like, let's just say Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia is way taller than Teo. Teo would not be able to deal with that type of pressure. And the issue is that Teofimo, he does not like fighting off the back foot. He could try to fight off of the back foot, but he gets punched so many times when he gets pressured that he don't even know what to do, and he makes himself look more dumber by fighting, recklessly to get himself knocked out. So for Nakatani, something out of my own eyes came to fruition to say, hey, I think Nakatani got the goods, and this man has that it factor where he could literally change that whole fight, where he could pull off pretty much another Yao Ming factor. That's basically what Nakatani is. Nakatani has that Dragon Ball Z, Frieza or Janemba, you know, changing factor to make things happen quick in a short period of time. And I think what he did to Felix was a really good reason why you should never doubt the underdog. Because there is a time where when you think you are at the top and nobody can't beat you, there will always be that one person that can test you to your limits and can possibly take you down. And that is a very scary nightmare that every athlete has to go through. You know you can win that title tomorrow, but it is not destined that you will keep that title for the next time you fight, for the next year you play for your season, and for the time that you even put yourself on another, athletic contest. So Teofimo knows that Nakatani is quite a threat, and Nakatani is not the same individual that Teofimo has last fought. And here's the reason why Teofimo will never take up the Nakatani offer until Nakatani starts to become Teo's mandatory. Because we can go to the WBO rankings and we can find this out right now. Because my boy Nakatani, he's about to get the whole world shook with what he's doing. But let's just take a look at the WBO rankings according to Box.Live, and you'll tell me who is the judge out of this. So we have George Kambosos Jr. We got Lomachenko at number 2. He could probably get that rematch faster than Kambosos, but we got Dennis Bierenchik. We have TAGOE. We have Linares, Tennyson, Yoshino, Selby, Machado. Okay, 14, Nakatani. And I think once you have the WBO Intercontinental belt, doesn't that make you a mandatory for the WBO champion? Yeah, it's supposed to. Like, that should put you next in line. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know, but I would assume that the WBO Intercontinental Belt gives you the gateway to fighting the actual champion. And yeah, that's basically what Usyk did, and then Usyk's now the mandatory for Anthony Joshua. So honestly, to be honest, George Kambosos is not gonna be next. The WBO is gonna come out of their way and say, Tio, if you want to fight Kambosos, you're gonna have to, yeah, you're gonna have to go through your boy Masayoshi Nakatani, because Nakatani, he is going to make some noise towards Tio. Like, literally, he is the mandatory for Tio as we speak. And I am pretty damn sure you cannot break the WBO rules. If someone had won the WBO Intercontinental Belt, you will be basically penalized and probably hit with all of the sanctioning fees. But if anything, yeah, Teofimo knows that he has to honor that mandatory, or else there's not going to be any moment for him to come out of his way to get all these other big fights that he wants to do. And yeah, he's done. Like, either way, it's just like Teofimo knows that he can't run away from Nakatani. Nakatani is the mandatory for claiming this belt, as expected, and this should be the next fight for Teofimo. But either way, Teofimo, he's afraid of Nakatani. Nakatani has that it factor. Nakatani can easily wipe the floor by making a huge comeback by hurting Teofimo, as what he did to Felix Verdejo. I'm sorry, Felix. But nah, it's just like, this guy, he's literally just another Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. You know, he's gonna get beat up a couple times. He's not going to make himself, unpredictable. But then once he finds you, and once he cracks that huge shot where you are in deep waters, Nakatani got you. That is how dangerous Nakatani is for 135. If Nakatani can beat Teofimo Lopez and take his belt and say, hey, you know what? Devin Haney, line him up. You know what is going to happen. You know that Nakatani will be till this day, till the day I die and after I die, that he will be taking down the top names. Because that is what a true effing warrior is. If Nakatani definitely had his defensive pedigree up, where he was like a defensive mastermind, being 6 feet tall, Teofimo would get knocked out from the first meeting. That is how good Nakatani is. And I saw that out of him when he wasn't taking it to the limit or over his limits against Teofimo. Nakatani barely actually lost that fight. He barely lost. And Teofimo literally said, no more tall fighters. So you know what the hell is going to happen. It is going to be Nakatani next. And Bob Arum, if you are listening to this, you damn sure know that you are not going to break the rules with the WBO. They're going to do their thing and tell you, hey, you better actually fight this guy. Because if you don't, he's going to get stripped. And then you know what the WBA and at least the IBF is going to say. Well, I don't know if Teofimo has like the actual WBA regular or super belt. That's why I'm really hating all these too many belts in boxing, because it's really destroying the whole vibe. It should just be one champion for the WBA, or like one champion per title belt organization. But yeah, either way, Teofimo just does not want the smoke, and I think he's gonna have to deal with his toughest contemporary, Nakatani. Nakatani, I have a lot of respect for you. If you are watching this, or anybody that is a Nakatani fan that probably lives near him, tell him that Kieran Rodriguez, or K-Rod, has my deepest respects for him. I hope he's okay, because I believe he possibly suffered a orbital bone fracture. So I really hope he's back 100%, and he could go after all these world titles, man. Because Nakatani, he has so much skill. I'm not trying to be biased here. Like, I really do believe Nakatani can make a huge threat at 135, if not 140 or 147. I mean, I'm not gonna go that far with him, but I mean, due to his frame, Nakatani is very dangerous. He's very, very dangerous. You don't see this out of East Asian fighters like Nakatani. Most Asians usually stay between, I want to say, from minimum weight, which that division needs to go, and all the way up until maybe bantamweight or super bantamweight. That's really where Japanese people fall, because they don't have that bodily frame structure that they build, that's built into their genes, compared to like Americans or Europeans, where there's like a much larger frame to be built out of those genes. So Asians don't really have that natural complexion. Well, no, I would say, due to their family genes, most Asians come out pretty short. That's just pretty much like a fact. But I mean, you're not going to see like a Roy Hachimura type Japanese boxer, which it can happen. There could be a Japanese 147 pounder out there, but I mean, like, the only Japanese tall fighter is Andy Hirioka, who fights at super welterweight, or no, at super lightweight. He fights at 140. And then there's who's the other guy? Takashi Ozawa something, or Osaka. Yeah, basically, there's like another Japanese 147 pounder, but I don't know. I don't ever keep up with Japanese boxing, so I might be a bit biased saying that. But hey, if there's more Japanese fighters, please let them know. I know that other female Japanese fighter. Her name is Tomawa Ozawa. Like, she's an awesome fighter. Like, I love her. She went at it with Mariana Juarez. But all the other Japanese female fighters that cheated, that one Japanese fighter, I think her name was Rio Toga. She cheated against Mariana Juarez, and that was an absolute disrespect to women's boxing. So that should have never been respected. But I wouldn't think that many people, I would say, in women's boxing, would cheat as much as men. But call out everybody. I call out every single person. So either way, cheating does not make you into the Hall of Fame, and it does not make you a credible fighter in the sport. But nah, man. I really do think Nakatani is the next big threat for 135, because he knows what he's up against. He's up against Tank Davis. He's up against George Kambosos Jr. If he could actually get his fight with Teofimo, which I don't think so, because I think what Nakatani is gonna do. I mean, honestly, no. Let Kambosos fight Teo. Let Teo get that easy money out in Australia, because he's gonna probably get a crap load of money coming back to the States. And then Nakatani forces, the mandatory, and Teofimo fights Nakatani, and then I don't know what happens after that. Like, I mean, Teofimo might be that type of guy to vacate his belts and go up to 140, but I just don't think it ever just comes to that point where Teo would probably leave sooner than later, and that would just screw up with the whole like setup between him and Devin Haney, which that's pretty much what the fight that everyone wants to see. So if Teofimo can be offered that money to or by Eddie Hearn, which I definitely need to make a make another video about that situation between him and Eddie Hearn. If Eddie Hearn can drop the $10 million to Teo, or if not $5 million, because Teo said that he could take $5 million to fight Devin. Yeah, I would definitely like to see that, because if Eddie Hearn can get that money together, which I do know Eddie, he got that money. I think this is gonna definitely hit some gate entrance numbers, and if you were to put it on pay-per-view, oh yeah, like it's gonna sell. Like it's gonna sell. Like two big names going at it, young 23 versus a 22-year-old, or 24 versus 22-year-old. I think either way it pretty much makes a good understanding of why this fight needs to happen. But in regards to Nakatani is gonna get his shot. And if Teo has to vacate that belt, Nakatani will be a world champion. And I truly believe he can take down at least the WBO belt. But when it comes to maybe Devin Haney or Tank Davis, or maybe Ryan Garcia, if he takes, Teo's WBA belt, which I highly doubt, or I'd probably say him and Rolly would probably go at it, because Rolly is the interim WBA champion. So his next fight has to be against Tank Davis, which would be a very, 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 very disrespecting, embarrassing fight. But either way, if he is the mandatory is supposed to fight the champion. Not no regular champion, not no WBA gold champion, the super champion, which that would be Tank Davis. If anything, I don't know. But I would assume the interim belt gives you access to fight either of those champions, or the actual real champion, which that's why that I don't like all these other belts, because it's actually destroying the meaning of the true lineage of boxing. Like, if I have a belt at 140 pounds and there's another guy having another belt that makes him his mandatory as he won that interim championship, then I need to be obligated to honor that fight. And then whatever happens, happens. And then move on to the next one. Like, I don't mind having a interim ticket belt or a ticket title fight belt that gives you access immediately to fight the champion. That is how boxing should be. Like, you could have as many title organizations as you want. I would probably limit it to 4, because going undisputed for so many belts does not make any sense. But 4 belts or 3 belts would be like the best way to actually solve all the competitive nature of boxing. But I mean, hey, if you want to have more title belt commissions where it's only just one belt and having an interim championship, that's perfectly fine, because it opens up the door to go after major belts and so on and so forth. So I think either way, it's a good idea, but what the best logic out of that is keeping it to at least 4 or 3 title belt commissions that are actually regulated in a market competition, to make sure fighters are going through all the regulatory standards to meet a clean, fair fight. That's it. But either way, I'm going to make my final statement on this Nakatani versus Lopez 2 prediction. Nakatani knocks out Teo in the 9th round. Or 10th round. I may be crazy for saying this, but let me just put it down to say Nakatani is a very, 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 very dangerous individual. This guy has punching power. This guy has pretty much everything in the bank of what you can, like what you can think out of him. But I just think with Nakatani's reach and that power, that it factor power that gets you in a Mortal Kombat survival mode stage, Nakatani is literally the best kept secret at 135. I may be talking out of my ass and being crazy, but I truly believe Nakatani, he is a very dangerous threat for his title division, or for his weight division. So that's pretty much what I gotta say. Let me know what y'all think. Drop the like hate, comment, subscribe. I don't care. And I'm going to come out with more videos, man. I'm out, and I'm on to the next one. Thank you.